Good morning, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to another exciting race from the Eblan Elixir League. My name is Garen, in the commentary booth here with Xenocat, our restreamer, and Zalde, our tracker. And I'm joined in the commentary booth by Sofnum. How are you doing this morning, Sofnum?
We are doing great. I'm quite happy to be able to bring you the first race of a pretty action-packed day that we have today. But it appears that during our race here between Eizan and JohnBirckhead that we have a Cane hero, and I think that we've had a Cane hero the last 3 times we've been on comps. So
Yeah,
a solid hero choice, right?
yeah, and Death doesn't even roll this one, so I mean, we're doing good this morning.
Yeah, one supposes so. Maybe we'll get some other fighty characters since that didn't happen. But we've got some interesting variable objectives, as I have a tendency to call them. Of course, we have our first 4 that we always have on Moonveil Mixer. That is defeat the Fubble Gauntlet, defeat Golbez, the boss man, defeat Cave Magnus, and have Kokol forge the Legend Sword. Then we also have 3 variable objectives. We have the Pink Tail, we have defeat the Queen spot at the Town of Monsters, and complete the Tower of Zot. So already the moon is looking a little bit haunted.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's going to directly send you up there, but you never know if the couple of objectives are stuck on the moon, because moon objectives are in play here. It might happen.
Yep, and I would, as our team format here, Eizan is on Bring Your Own Bacchus. Actually, I should have introduced these in the other order. And JohnBirckhead is on Brewcode Attitude, and Eizan's on your team, isn't he, Zirin?
Yes, Eizan is on my team. I'm certainly hoping that he'll get the win. This is our second match of the week, and I did not hold up my end earlier on in the week. So, I'm hoping that it's an exciting race.
Yeah, hoping for a close race. They've been
as far
really
as the
close.
runners go. Eizan is 2-3 so far in the tournament, and JohnBirckhead is 4-1. So, and both teams are 4-3. So, I mean, this is the fight to stay above 500 for the tournament.
Yeah, I would.
And at the very least, I'm hoping that it'll be a splits tonight's race late at night between Flanders and who Flanders running against. It'll be the rubber match.
Yeah, Flanders, I believe, is running against Elven Sorrow tonight at 10 p.m. Standard Free Enterprise time, which is Eastern. But this race, I think it's going to be very interesting. Depending on who Kane gets paired with here momentarily. Kane heroes kind of have a tendency not to drive a lot of decisions. It's a very middle of the road sort of choice, I find. It's not like you can do anything necessarily, but not a bad start either. And we have a Sid.
Yep, and it looks like starting key item is the pan.
Ooh, that's always sort of an interesting start, right?
Yeah, the question is, do you fade the Fubble defense, or do you do it anyways to start when it's in the early game? Because you'd like to only single dip Fubble if you can, but if you're looking for that Magma Cure, that hook, you might have to go there anyways.
Yeah, and the seed is definitely telling you that you might be able to, but then again, if that Magma Key's, behind the Fubble defense, then it's playing some very, very silly jokes against you. Looks like John's gonna check and see who we have in.
No, he's actually gonna check what's in Rose's mom's house first.
Ah. And
Eizan is checking the waterfall, finds a Baigen. That's a nice thing to see there. We're not gonna be seeing him anymore.
The waterfall is very smelly today, but Baigen can stay there for us.
Oh, the waterfall smells like monster,
Yeah. Gotta love that. It's my favorite cutscene in the game is when Palom says that it smells monsters. But Tier 3's for sale in Baron, along with look like Moonveils.
Yeah, Sylph, and we got a full moon sitting in the Ancient basement along with a ninja hat. That's some
Wow.
good stuff.
That's one of the better Damsian basements you can find, I think. So not too bad a check there. So yeah.
And John's gonna make the same play and find the same good stuff.
Absolutely. So full Thunder Rod too. I mean, yeah. Damsian is the place to be today, apparently.
Well, so not Anna, you know, I mean, there's some bad things going on there elsewhere.
Right. But you know, I mean, maybe we'll see Anna later. Maybe in a vision or a dream.
Yeah, and looks like Eizan's gonna just give us a check of the character here on Mount Hobbs.
Yep, gearing up just in case this is something we want to take, and it's a good raft of gear for somebody. Is ninja hat, black belt and strength ring that we start with on the Moonveil mixer is a pretty good Sid.
Yep, and we do have the Dwarf Axe initially to back row glitch that cane. Will help us out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the starting I find in this flag set that the starting item set is very generous, and Tella at Hobbs. So, and we'll go ahead and just stare down King and Queen Eblan, or maybe we'll attack them. I don't know.
It might
matter.
It might be faster to try and take out the king. There's not a whole lot of health here.
Yeah.
And yeah, someone has mentioned in chat, D-Money Grind is now potentially threatening to be on the table. Every time I've seen Tella in Early Darkness, it turns out that the D-Money Grind has never actually happened. So I'm hoping we avoid it again.
Yeah. I have no strong opinion on the grind itself, but I don't think that as a runner you're really even considering it until you've got that Early Darkness on the table. You also don't have a lot of characters who I would call good candidates for the D-Money Grind. Usually you're doing it when you have black mages you want to get nuke or something. So, but an early Tella is always nice for the exit spell, as Eizan takes advantage of that. If you can consistently remember to use the exit spell, it does save you quite a bit of time across the seed.
Yep, and Tella's also got a nice blink spell there too, which will help in some of these fights in the early game if they're punchy.
Yep. And always, Tella kind of draws you a little bit towards ordeals. Clearly, if we're going to do the D-Money, we would need to finish ordeals first, but a lot of his utility comes with just having the Tella, but some of it is locked behind kind of him remembering all of his spells after Kane, in this case.
Yeah, so if a spell drop is found, there's always the Swag Meteo to knock off a couple fights.
Yeah, Tella's Meteo is always a little bit questionable in my opinion, but it's there, it's on the table. Sometimes it's fun. There's another.
Speaking of Soma drops, there it is.
So, sometimes I think Tella's probably the best candidate for that, but we'll see what our runners decide. We'll see who is at Antlion here.
It's a vanilla Antlion.
Vanilla Antlion. So,
is this even randomized today?
Yeah, I just don't know.
So Antlion has gotten a little bit lost. Could be on the moon.
Indeed. Unfortunately. Well, maybe we had to come back home and check on our eggs. You never know who's going to come and try and steal, the whatever you're using to warm the eggs today, which happens to be a lightsaber, which I bet does pretty good warming your eggs.
Yeah, but on the other hand, just laying a lightsaber sounds like it'd be kind of painful. And JohnBirckhead is through at almost the exact same time. And Eizan is going to head off to the Fabul defense, looks like.
Yep, looks
So
like.
not going to try for that single dip. And JohnBirckhead is doing the same play.
Yeah, did you happen to see who was at Baron? I didn't. This makes sense depending on who's at Baron, I think.
I did not remember who was at Baron.
So it's a Porum that was at Baron. Yeah, I might be tempted to go Baron before.
We have camping gear and cures here at Fabul defense. So that's helpful.
Oh yeah, it's always nice to have the shop check kind of worked in with your key item check here.
Yeah, and the runners are going to sync up for the start of the defense.
Oh wow, yeah, look at that sync. Fading exactly the same time, at least on my screen here. We'll see who we have attacking Fabul Castle today.
Something a little bit nasty. We have a Mom Bomb.
Yeah, Mom Bomb does get a little bit of extra HP if I remember right, so that they can turn into bombs. But
Yep, 9,000 extra HP in this spot, so it's going to be a little bit to get through.
Yeah, so I imagine that the damage output we seem to be at right now, we will probably see some bombs, but let's
yeah, I don't think they're going to burn through 9,000 of it with just a Tella and a Kane and a Sid.
Yep. No matter how much strength equipment that we were able to get put up on our Sid here. And it looks like JohnBirckhead's already got the Explode, which doesn't take anybody out. Just mistimes that J item use to take out the bombs. So if you do it a little bit early, the J item will actually only hit one of the bombs because it thinks it's single targeted. Which is somewhat unfortunate, but Eizan gets through first.
Yeah, because Eizan's Blizzard was a little bit later, so it actually hit all 6.
Yep.
You have to wait for the cursors to do the, you see multiple curses on the screen, so it's one of those weird things about, oh, and there's a magma key, so this is the best place to go, it looks like.
Yep, and I guess we've already started the commentator's curse, since we were just talking about how having the magma key here would, be a little bit unfortunate, but at least we can restrict ourselves to a double dip here, and this makes, I think, going underground quite an attractive option right now. Because you've got
Yeah, I mean, we can turn in the pan and get the 3 checks from the Sheila turn-ins.
Yep. You've got the free Fame Arch check down there, and you do have an objective sitting in the Fame Arch as well.
Yeah, although that Queen might be a little bit early since Free King and Queen is already off the table.
Right.
We need some hourglasses for some of the other freebies down there.
Yep, either hourglasses or, lots more hit points than we have. We're going to try eyes in the screen trying to throw the pan down the well. I feel that way sometimes. I definitely want to just trash that thing sometimes.
Well, yeah, I would certainly appreciate if we threw the pan down the well instead and just lost it forever.
Yeah, let's just get rid of that chain.
So a bit of divergence, John is going to mount our deals at this point, get that Tella online.
Yep, get the Tella online. Maybe anticipating with both the lightsaber and the Tella, this is a really interesting play because as you get some of the other characters you're going to have access to throughout the seed, there's a pretty good chance that you find a Cecil, and then he's automatically online and you don't have to come back here and do this. Plus you get a key item out of it. And there's DKC in this spot, which is not super duper nasty, but if I were a runner, I want to see this somewhere else. This spot's usually easy no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, DKC, this is like, the honorable mention trophy. It's like, yeah, you tried, but even if you have team 90 HP, you're probably getting through this.
Right. Like your 17 hit points, I'm just not scared of you. I'm sorry. Justice may not be the only right in this world, but let's just move on from our little thing here. So I would expect to see John not even bother going back to the save point. Yep. And get.
This is a little bit rude to see here.
Yeah.
The spell power here is fairly decent with where this is.
Spell power is pretty good. You've already got this spot. Already has.
Yeah, there's a 1000 HP player 2 there, so it's the Starveil up.
Ouch.
After that.
Yeah.
Tella goes down. Ow.
Maybe if we can get through Mindy here, no, we're just not gonna try.
Yeah, I mean, Birckhead did put a Starveil up, but unfortunately, because they reflected off of Cindy, it goes right through that.
Yep. Deciding that discretion is the better part of valor, we're going to leave that alone. I do think this is a good play. I think a Porum would definitely help us with the getting through this with some mages and some levels that you're going to get out of Baron in here.
Yeah, just having more targets, so it's like the sisters can only hit one for turns. They have all single targets, so it's like more targets. You can go through some life cycles. I mean, it works a little better.
And we have Kaipo guards here at Baronin. You're in the wrong town, guys. But we're using up all our free bosses, Kieran. I can't really tell. This is not great. This is not looking great for like the moon later.
Yeah, although I mean, we at least have the Baigen off the table. That's helpful for the moon.
That is very helpful, and we have the Baigen and the Antlion. Those are two that are always pretty mean to see in some spots up there. But I always want to see King and Queen at like, Cave Bahamut or something. Where
you'd really see King and Queen actually at the first giant spot. If the giant was an objective.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that's the goal, but I don't like to think about the giant. It does me dirty. So, ninja swords for sale, Gungear spears for sale.
This is a nice Feymarch weapon shop for sure.
Yep. Trying to decide what to sell here. Getting rid of some of the stuff that we need. Yeah.
Yep, and then we're counting with Bahamut on John's side. This will be free here because all I do is put up Starveil. It'll be fine.
Yep, won't take that much effort here. Oh, and it looks like we got through it without there being any...
Ooh, and there's a required pink tail. You can't turn it in yet, but that's going to be the admin armor an objective as soon as the hook shows up.
One of the best pink tails to find. It's an objective. It's an admin armor. Just need to find the hook, and we'll be good to go there. That is an excellent pickup along with that Porum. So
Eizan's going to give us a peek of what the Feymarch bosses are, and we find it is a wall and an octopus.
So required octopus. Octopus not going to be something that we're going to attempt right now. Way too punchy, way too fast.
Yeah,
and illusions for sale. That's always a good pickup.
Yeah, so the rulership of the Feymarch today is kind of weird. It's like you've got a door in charge, and you've got an octopus basically as the consort. It's like, oh, okay, that's an interesting combo.
Yeah, I don't know why like the Land of Monsters is storing their walls in the basement of the library, but you never know. Like, I don't think monster logic and human logic really ever interact that well. So
yeah, I mean, it's a very nice wall. Someone says
it is a very nice wall. It's a regal wall. So,
all right, where else do you get walls that actually eat people, or crush them?
Yeah. So we have, and we didn't even have to blow something up for that to happen.
Yeah, I did not see what
Eizan
got.
It was way too quick. I don't even think we got the frame of what Eizan got. Ooh, the sad ruby. Which is a great. I don't think anybody checked Kaipo bed yet, but that is a great find this early. Another character would be wonderful.
Yeah, and you'd like it to be really a Cecil or a Fu because, in this flag set, they're restricted, they're behind key items, and it could be one of them.
Yep. A Cecil, a Fu. I mean, you'd take... I think the worst thing to find here would just be like in the bed would be like a Yang at this point, just because Yang's super redundant with our current party.
Yeah, you wouldn't like to see a dupe Sid here, or probably an Eddie either, because we haven't seen the spoon yet.
Yeah, Eddie non-spoon is just not super duper useful. I mean, we do see the wall that Eddie can help with, and there's a crystal sword, so we're definitely...
So Sheila apparently is all in charge of the drinks for the Cecil today with the Bacchus and the crystal sword.
I was gonna say, who has Sheila been seeing keeping both a Bacchus and a crystal sword there for us? But
well, definitely not Asuka, because that would just not be on brand for that.
Yeah, not at all. So Eizan gonna go.
Eizan's gonna check this character. I mean, at this point, any Cecil check is a check you're probably gonna make.
Yeah,
because that crystal sword will do work.
Well, and it definitely would be quite the multiplier here. And that is Alum?
Alum, yes.
So, black mages are great to find. Probably not who we were hoping to find here, but, take it.
Well, it is Quake Kid. I mean, he learns Quake pretty quick, which is pretty strong in the early to mid game.
Yep, will get us through some of the checks we have ahead of us. I know that an online Quake Kit is great to have at Tower of Zot, great to have at King Magnus. Depending on where we find the gauntlet is also can be a key for decrypting the gauntlet.
Yeah, Isis gave us a quick check of the Mist Cave, hoping for a cheeky vanilla D-Mist or maybe a gauntlet here.
Yeah, or if you can get through this check and it's not too fast. No, there's a karate.
No, we have the wrong character there.
Yep. If you can get through this check though, the chests there are actually weighted fairly highly. And you can find some good equipment in the back half of Mist sometimes if you bother to do it, but you're not going to do karate in this case. You don't even have Cecil to do the script, so you'd have to get through all the HP.
Well, there's not a whole lot there, but I mean, even with the loot being maxed out at tier 5 in the non-trap chests, I mean, you're probably gonna go to Castle Eblan if you wanted to really try and string some equipment. But with a crystal sword, all you're hoping for is adamant. You kind of know you're going to get one along the way anywhere, and Eizan gets the good news that, hey, adamant's online as soon as the tail shows up. Or not, the hook shows up for that tail.
Yep, and it looks like John's going to go ahead and full loot the Fey March. So we found a pair of longswords so far. It kind of seems to be the most exciting thing we found up here, which is pretty good, as you were saying, for the non-trap max 5 is, not the best thing we can find, but not too bad. And just a power shirt in the Fey March freebie. Again,
well, you won't say no.
Yeah, we're not putting it back, but again, no progression.
As I've told oftentimes, there are no refunds in this game, so
yeah, you can't petition the admins for refunds if your seed is not to your liking. We don't have that flag set here.
Well, also we don't have the budget to fix the machine either.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what people would expect us to do, but we can give them all the money back they paid to participate if they want. So getting some lit arrows, just in case we find sort of an Odin, or they'll be pretty good on this this octopus that we have down here.
Yep,
but
although
probably not enough to get through it.
Yeah, not with this character set, just because that octopus is very, very speedy, and we don't have a curse ring yet for that hero Kane, and Kane is kind of fast compared to most of the other characters.
Yeah, Kane has that sort of, he gains the speed, not really who you want as your anchor necessarily, just because he gains speed, but doesn't gain power consummate to his speed, unlike some of the other characters. But that's a problem for later. Right now, Kane is great because we have a Lingard Spear. Or at least on Eizan's side, we have a Lingard Spear.
Yeah, Chad over is looking for the Adamant Crystal Cecil. The way that's probably not happening is if Cecil's exactly at the back of the giant, which he seems to be more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, a late Cecil on the moon might not be something that we do, or a Cecilette package when we're not going to check it. There's a lot of places Cecil could be that would be inconvenient. But
I think if you get a package without a Cecil, you're going to check it regardless, and if you see him there, you'll probably take him.
Yeah.
I know. I just saw it not very long ago where someone actually did not take a Cecil that they saw in the package, but you know, it was late in the game. I can understand why.
Yeah, it's gonna heavily depend on your current setup. I think at this setup, you would for sure take the cutscenes and the relatively easy boss for a Crystal Sword, Adamant Armor, Bacchus having Cecil, and JohnBirckhead going to go pick up his Palom.
Yep, runners are retracing their steps over each other, so Eizan's doing the ordeals that John already has, and John is now doing some of the checks that Eizan already did.
Yeah, and through no fault of their own, Eizan's routing may end up better here than John's was, because with the 5-character party and slightly higher levels, we may get through Sisters the first time here.
Yeah, I mean, their spells are still going to take out the characters the one-shot, most likely, but you'll have at least 5 characters up, so maybe if someone's got a bow with some mute arrows, and you can get a Zerk off on them, maybe, if Porum knows it, then, you know, maybe.
I don't think
she's up there yet, but
yeah,
no, not quite.
Not quite, but
we have
we also can probably take out Mindy real quick with our party setup here. We have a lot of strength gear. We have two burly boys who can help us out here. We got some. We have rune rings too, which help a lot with the damage.
Yeah, and I do see those mute arrows in hand, so I mean, Eizan could stick those on.
Yep.
I don't know if he has any good bow to use with. I only see a short bow in there.
Yeah, I think we have a short bow and a crossbow to possibly. I mean, I think my decision would be to put him on Sid, but we might be able to get there. I think this is definitely doable for our runners, but we'll have to see.
Well, Eizan is going to get the not so great news. It is the Magus Sisters here.
Yep. Mute arrows, no good bows. See what Fire 2's looking like. Well, probably the best target.
In this setup, probably.
Oh, and we're gonna try a twin.
Well,
yeah.
You're hoping for a comet.
Yep. Oh, and Sid only takes 150 or so damage out of that reflected spell, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's very nice comparatively.
And yep, we are going to go ahead and just put this on Sid. Hopefully this will make pretty short work of Mindy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Sid does take a friendly fire there from the twins, but Mindy is down, so that takes away the spell cast for the time being.
Yeah, and Kane did 1,000 damage on Cindy there, so you know, pretty good. This should be doable. It's going to be a little bit painful, but painful fights they build character. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, so JohnBirckhead is doing trap chests in the Castle Eblan.
Yep. See what we get out of here. Oh, I didn't quite catch it.
Yeah, there's some frames issues on this one.
But we will... Oh, so we got a sort of somewhat redundant Excal here.
Aha. Well, that's a dartable for Edge if Edge shows up.
Yep. It's also a heap of money. If you find something that you particularly like in the shops. And then we're gonna go see who Kane will be facing today.
Well, Kane is facing Cecil's demons. That's very nice of him.
Yeah, and hopefully he will face them and not betray us. But you know how that Kane is.
There's a Luca key, which is not terribly useful unless there's a required boss down there. And Cecil does not like snakes, apparently.
Yep. Why did it have to be snakes? But this is going to be definitely just sort of doable. The wave doing a quarter of damage, working like a gravity spell in this game. And with the low hit points here, just not going to be hard. And we make it through pretty readily. And it looks like we have equipped our Porum with those mute arrows on JohnBirckhead's side to get through the Mad Ogre chest. Definitely a good idea. Getting those life glitches off too. Hopefully Porum will let us get our lives off. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there they go. So yeah, that Herald Robe was a great find there for this fight.
Yep. And it looks like that last... Oh, there we go. And a big old chunk of experience here. Pushing our heroes up. Not quite quack levels, but we're getting there. And another Crystal Sword.
This is a seed of redundancy, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's... I think the seed's taunting us, because I'm thinking that, like, the Cecil Giant Curse may come true today, just by all the equipment we're being handed. Let's see what Eizan decides to do here. Looks like
Dwarf Castle might be his next play.
Yep. I mean, it.
He's got the Warp on Tellus. This is a good time to check it. And, you know, it is 2 boss checks. You're still hunting for all 3 bosses. So, and it's 2 item checks, so.
It's a good play. Some things you can find here are particularly unkind, especially to our party setup. Like, you'd hate a vanilla dolls. Naga Sisters off the table, but that's never a good one to find in the spots here. But, you know, it's a good play. We can make it through. It'll definitely increase our power and hopefully, you know, unlock some of our objectives that we're still kind of waiting to find here. Been 30 minutes and we don't even have the ability to do any of our objectives, which is a little bit unfortunate, but
we have the ability to take the queen. We just
sure. Sure, okay. Fair. We could defeat the queen if we could. But
yeah, JohnBirckhead is going to go into Fabula. Is going to get the great news that he's getting another crystal sword for just selling at this point. And it looks like a turtle here at the first dwarf deck.
Yep. It'll be a fun turtle. Turtle's fine. We do have, I believe, our runners start with the Thor Rage that I don't see we've used here to try and nerf the waves, but we'll see how this goes.
I didn't think these were included in this kit that they get to start with on this one.
We seem to have one, so
it may have found one, but I don't believe it then.
Oh, and a nice flare goes off.
Yeah, so the wave is coming out. It's not going to be too high here, but it's probably going to take out that Palm and that Porum if no more HP gets out of here.
Oh, and we did find a Thor Rage, so hopefully that went off in time. It looks like it did. That was pretty quick, so...
Yeah, it should have been in time.
Yeah, and we're going to Zerk Arcane, and with the damage output we seem to have here, I think we're probably going to end up pretty good.
Yeah, I think Kane has a Blizzard Spear on, which I think Kaneazu is weak to the ice as long as the wave is not up.
Yep. So, looks like we got a couple good hits in. We should be hiding in the shell. Oh, looks like we're going to gather the water once more. We will see if Tella can make it here. I think we did end up lining
Oh, is
up
it a Gungnir Spear? Okay. Never mind then. I thought it was a Blizzard Spear for some reason.
Tella betrays the party today. But that's actually a pretty weak wave second time. It is based on Kanazo's hit points. So we have poured a lot of damage out, which is pretty good.
Yeah, even at the max power, you probably get more about 250 to 300 HP on the waves here.
So, I mean, that would have been unfortunate. It would have wiped a good amount of our party, but here we've got, this is elementary at this point. Just got to get through the rest of hiding in the shell.
Yeah, I think Kane's next hill will probably take it out. There we go.
Yep, and JohnBirckhead heading back up ordeals, now equipped with Quake, should make extremely quick work of both of these bosses and then not have problems with our noodle.
Yeah, although he's going to get the bad news that it really isn't a great key item up here.
Yep. But we'll get some Tella, and if we ever do find our Cecil, we'll have a paladin to start with, which is always good. Oh, and some imps.
Imps and a Yang.
Bye, Yang.
Yeah, goodbye.
Just not, like, Yang is discount Sid is discount Kane is discount Cecil, so I think in the sort of power rank here, Yang is just not what we're looking for here. Can be good with some parties, but not this one.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Kane and the imps have gotten lost. Each will be in the cannon room over in Babel, so...
All the discounts, yes.
That Gaia Drum wasn't quite enough to take out the DMs. They had about 1,000 HP each, and this didn't roll quite enough.
So... Oh, and we get...
Quake Kid is online?
Yep.
And once again, the disembodied hand is going to yank the crystal and then drop it right back in place for our runners to get with the warp glitch.
Yeah. I mean, the disembodied hand of... Just who it was. But...
Well, I mean, it was red colors. I mean, you figure, yeah, the imps are coming back for a second bit of jokes here.
Yeah, I guess. And this knows the warp.
And it's a white spear. That's nice for that Kane.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not progression, but you know, not the worst thing to find here. And we'll see what Luca's been carrying around her neck here too. We know it's not vanilla, so we'll have to see what. Maybe it's a crystal sword. No, it's a rat tail.
Dwarves have got some really interesting fashion this season.
Yeah, that seems like a very dwarf thing to wear a rat tail necklace. I could see it. I'm down. And maybe it's like not like actually a rat tail. Maybe it's like a rat tail that's made out of gold.
Yeah, I think if you're making jewelry, you're gonna make something a little bit nicer than a rat tail.
Yeah, but you know we're not dwarves, so maybe a rat tail is really nice. So, but our character, still no progression. Obviously now that hook becomes extremely valuable, being both a key item check and an adamant armor. So we'll see if we go and do tower next, maybe, or oh, it looks like maybe we're gonna give a shot to some of the Fey March.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's enough now to take on that that Oko. I'm sorry, yeah, the Octomap.
Yep. And chat pointing out here that each of our young ladies have given us tails, because Horum did come with the pink tail as well. So
yeah, unfortunately, Rydia is not coming with the pigtail.
No. Yeah, and I don't even know. Like, I don't think we would take Rydia at this point. Maybe you would, but
Well, there's that Leviathan in the shop. I mean, that's nice to see, but at this point, Rydia, because her experience curve is so slow, I probably wouldn't want to deal with trying to slingshot her up.
Yep, and we haven't found sirens yet, at least that I remember. So we have a lot of places to check for them, but we have not found them yet. So
I think we're down to just the Eblan Cave shop, and then we're down to the Moon shop, I think.
Eblan Cave, Moon. Did anybody check Choria?
I thought John was there.
Yeah, I didn't remember if somebody had checked Choria, but yeah, we're not down to too many more places, so. Okay, so shops have been checked, so.
Yeah. Eizan is setting some setup here, and he's going to try and take out Mr. Octopus.
Yep. We'll see how this goes. We do have... Ooh.
Well, Tella did not... and there goes Palom, and we haven't even got a turn off yet. Yikes.
Let's see how this goes. We don't quite take out Kane, which is good. Good. And we have Blink. Unfortunately, we lost one of our Blink casters, so I don't think that was quite in the plans, but...
That was a good target from Octoman.
Yep.
So we just need to get a few hits on him to slow him down a little bit.
Yep, if we can get one or two of the tentacles cut off here, we will definitely get that up. Definitely trying to keep white... Tella up to... Uh-oh.
As being noted, that the White Spear is a little unfortunate because Octomam does have resistance to Holy, so that's going to make this a little bit slower.
Yep. Yeah. Eizan sees the writing on the wall and decides to kind of reset out of this check. We'll see if we try again with some reconfiguration, or... Yep, we're going to take that White Spear. Replace it with the Gungar Spear. Possibly put anything at all in Sid's hands.
I think there's some lit arrows down there.
Yep. I see some lit arrows. I still don't know that we've obtained a good bow. But Eizan gonna try Dwarf Axe.
Yeah, that will slow the Kane down a little bit.
Yeah. All right. I see the logic there.
Unfortunately,
really fast. Oh man.
And we lose both casters immediately.
Yeah. That is just unfortunate targeting. Board AI, as we like to say in the community sometimes. Not the nicest targeting, but...
Yeah, so Eizan's going to try to get this back up again. Gets both casters back up. Kane survives a hit. So...
Kane being able to survive one hit, I think, is going to be key here if we're going to get through this.
Yep,
Forum goes down.
We lose
probably
Palom.
a good target. Or Palom, yeah. Palom goes down.
Yeah, we want four up here. We need our blinks.
Yes.
Forum is going to blink herself. That's good.
Yep.
Sid takes a hit. That's good. All right, this is
good targeting. We've cut off one of the tentacles already, so we're slowing down already. We have blink off on two of our key people, which is great.
And I'm just realizing, since I saw a Moonveil in Eizan's inventory, he could have used a Moonveil somewhere, and then you wouldn't die necessarily. It'd be a very long and slow fight, but you could get through it.
Yep. I think the blink strats here are going to do us quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So we're doing... So we did the swap trick, and now we're going to give Sid the axe. And okay. I think maybe we've stabilized here. Almost everybody's got a blink. Sid's got a bunch of hit points.
Well, he's lost most of those hit points, but he's still up.
But he got a blink, so... I think that maybe we've stabilized, and we're down to, 4. So... we've cut the speed in half, or now we're down to 4. Cut the speed in half, so.
And it looks like John is going to be right behind to try his hand at these fairly nasty Baymarch bosses.
Yeah, we'll have to see like what kind of strategy that John employs and see if it's going to be better or you know, different from what Eizan is doing. But yeah, we've almost got through the tentacles at least on Octoman. Got it. Refreshing our blinks. Just seems to have stabilized. I think we'll get through this pretty quickly too. I mean that Gungar Spear is doing 1500, so not the fastest, but not the slowest either.
Yeah, and I think I don't think Eizan has the heroin row bank on John's side. If he uses the heroin and the Moonveil in combination, it might be possible to get through that evil wall, because I think heroin can't get crushed with it.
Yeah. We'll have to see what our runners decide to do there.
Okay, heroin does not protect from crush. Okay, I knew something did. Maybe I'm thinking of Ribbon.
I know that one of the hats does, but
And Eizan is through the octopus.
Yep. Nice little injection of experience to our party here. So that's definitely got rid of an objective, and we'll also see what kind of key item we get here.
It's a
We have a
spoon,
spoon.
which is not helpful at this point because we have neither an Edge or an Edward.
No, does make Edward. I think does increase Edward's value to our current party. And yeah, Eizan just gonna go ahead and exit out. Not even concerned about that wall. Without it being an objective, I really do like this play. You're probably gonna wipe once trying to do that, so you never really want to wipe. Don't want to play.
Yeah, is instead gonna go for the keyless tower, and is really hoping this pays out, because if it does not, then that means that evil wall is holding our path to progress.
Yep, we have very quickly winnowed down our checks that we can actually do, and so we're hoping the top of tower holds something nice for us.
Someone's pointed out there could be a cheeky Demus sitting around somewhere. That's
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. Do you try and rub your face against the wall until you get through, or do you go up Zot and check? I mean, because you can check Flame Dog at the same time. I don't know what the answer to that is.
yeah, well, I mean, depending what Eizan sees up here, it's like if this doesn't pay off, it's like you're wondering, okay, what do I try first here? If you go to Zot, it's not a Demus up there. That feels kind of bad with the loss of time.
Yeah, Flame Dog could be holding something good, but it at this point, the way that the seed has been telling us jokes, I would expect it to be a Crystal Sword or Scowl. So.
But look, we can't have 5 cesses in the seed. This is impossible.
Exactly, and so it might just be a Zog. But it might be something good.
We have a Sparkle up here at the top of the tower.
Yeah, this could be really good or really bad. Kind of
I think the runners will be hoping for Plague here.
Plague would be the best thing to find. I think D-Lunars would be doable.
Ooh, we have a Wyvern sitting.
We have Magnet.
And at least Magnet's a fairly okay character for that.
Yep. Plus, Tella doesn't appear to be being affected by the Magnet, so hopefully we'll be able to push out enough damage to... Oops. And I think we targeted Kane with our Berserk.
Yeah, we did, but Kane was not on screen at the moment, so we'll try it again.
It's just, he flies so far up in the air that he's out of range, and 2,500 on that Quake is a pretty good damage.
Yeah, meanwhile, even though Wyvern has wings, he's vulnerable to Quake, because not flying, because logic.
It makes sense. He's not floating. We can very very clearly see the claws on the ground. And we've already got our wall up, so we have precious little time to wind through the hit points here.
Yeah, the good news is at least Wyvern is only going to do single target nukes at this point, so I mean you can just play life roulette and hope you can get through it.
Yep, hope for some good targeting. It's not the worst targeting.
Oh,
and Sid could have actually survived that if he was at full hit points too. Oh, that berserk. Oof. Old man. Yeah.
Well, okay, this isn't too hurtful, so... Also clears the magnet in case we want him to do stuff.
We get life on Sid. Have another Quake cast.
Well, now the forum's going down.
Yep, but we seem to be able to keep up with the casts. Just have to pour out enough damage here now.
And Eizan should be getting a rest because I think that Wyvern's gonna have to reset that wall pretty soon.
Yep. Not this. Oh.
Ooh.
Oof.
Takes out the canes. That's gonna slow things down a little bit.
Yep. Not Quack Kid. We haven't hit Palom yet.
Alright, Wyvern stopped for Remedy, so this is our time to recover it.
Yep. So it looks like... And we have 2 characters down. Should be able to life pot. Or life some of our friends here. So... I think that we're looking pretty decent at this point. I haven't really been counting hit points, but I think that we're probably pretty... Oh, Quack Kid goes down. That's not what we wanted to see.
Nope.
But bring it right back up. We'll see if we can recover this chain here. I think 1 or 2 more quakes, and we're probably through this. So
yeah, I'd at least having the Tele up gives you another turn in there. That kid's gonna go down again.
Wyvern, come on, we're trying to get through here. You were so nice with the magnet. Can't you be nice some more?
Oh, and Tele misclicked on the who is lifing up there, so that's not too good.
No. I can see nerves playing into this though, because you really need to get through this check, as it's one of the very few things that is.
And
Wyvern
again, yikes!
Wyvern, come on! And JohnBirckhead kind of playing the same game over on their side.
Yeah, death also cures magnet in addition to the heal.
I actually didn't know that magnet was cured by death. Not everything is. So, kind of an interesting interaction there. I knew that stop... I guess it's a stop effect. So
yeah.
Oh, and John is through. I don't know if it's the extra levels or what, but John managed to pour out enough damage to Wyvern to get through here, and we'll see. And we get the tower key.
Another tower. This is good.
Yeah, this is great. Do not hate it at all.
And Wyvern is down on Eizan's side. Finally got through it with the Palom finally up there for a cast.
Yep. And chat pointing out that John managed to silk web Wyvern. So
yeah, that definitely helps because you're spending less turns casting lives.
Yep. And more turns casting quakes.
Yeah, now hopefully the runners do either stop and save or heal here, because if for some reason Ogopogo is sitting over at this tower spot, it could be a little bit bad.
Ogo would be bad. Got rid of a lot of the things that could be bad here, though.
Yeah.
So
Eizan is healing up a little bit, so let's see.
John saved. I don't think that Eizan did, though. Oh, CPU.
Yeah, but it turns out it's not going to matter too much because the CPU here is not really going to be a big threat.
Nope, you can Quake CPU.
Or, Zeus for agent.
Or Moonveil or whatever.
Try all the circuitry. Why not?
Yeah.
Eizan's going to do the Quake. John has made up a little bit of time here because he came into the tower second, but is going to leave first.
Yep.
Unless he
Silk Web is a clutch play
trap
along with the extra levels.
Yeah, unless he stops for trap chest on the way down. Maybe, if you want to try and pop another adamant armor out, but wouldn't think so.
Yeah, it would be appealing to me if we had an edge so we could steal some of those sirens to bulk up our levels, but without the edge, I don't know that it's going to be a play our runners are going to choose to do, and it looks like John's just running, trying to see what that tower key turns into. Hopefully, like Earth Crystal or a hook would be great. Harp would be good.
It might turn into a Darkness Crystal here. Have down to only 2 checks left for that.
Yeah. Don't know if that's actually more likely, but it would be a great thing to find. Kind of depends on how key items are distributed. I'm not super up on that, but let's see.
Just a pass. Ooh, that means either a cheeky demist or it is going to be that evil wall.
And
so John is gonna check the shops here in Mist first. Might check the demist cave if he hasn't done so already.
Oh, maybe trying to find a cursed ring.
That could be, yeah. I mean, the agility on the evil wall would definitely be a bit of a problem now with non-cursed cane.
Or glass hats. Yep.
Doing some of the boss checks. It's like, please, can there be a demist here somewhere?
Can we find a demist? We're on the blue planet. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, we're gonna go outside anyway.
Yep. So Eizan's gonna check out the Luca cave for the cheeky boss check, and John is gonna try out the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, and I totally see the logic in each of these plays. With on Eizan's side, you're already underground. You've got the key. It's going to be in the back of your head, because if it's a Golbez or a gauntlet and you can get through it, that's.
Oh, John is actually leaving Zot 1. Where's going?
I wonder. Oh, I think we're still. Kind of checking for some stuff. Going to try and avoid the true final boss, the inventory boss here, by selling off some of our stuff that we're just not going to use.
Yeah, although the timelines to just get rid of it is almost as bad as trying to menu through it in a fight when you get a summon.
Yep. But maybe gonna check the treasury. I guess I would check the treasury. You could find some equipment that would make this doable.
Looks like Donna's gonna come back down. Gonna try the silk chests?
Possibly. I was thinking that maybe our plan was to go to Luca and then reset out of it if it was bad. And then you'd be right at.
Ooh!
Hey! There we go.
Eizan has found the cheeky play.
Yep. And it looks like this isn't gonna be too hard. I guess it's not super punchy.
No, but you'd definitely like to cast a few slows or use a few silk webs on this thing. This is one of the fastest spots in the game. So otherwise you're gonna go through 3 shots and not go a lot of time to focus on getting damage down.
Yep. Looks like we're going to try and blink up our Quake and Quake our way to victory here.
Makes total sense.
And on JohnBirckhead's side, we're going to Quake some ghosts and see what we can find.
Well, we're definitely going to find a lot of experience. Fortunately, only has, I think, 8 key items right now, but gets a defense sword. That's nice.
Don't hate it. It's not a crystal sword. We can actually.
Yeah, a crystal sword at this point is just good for money.
Right. And telling jokes. I mean, the seed seems to be wanting to have the stand-up comedy. Although we have not found our comedian yet, we definitely would like to.
Yeah, let's see if maybe Eizan will start slowing this Demus down a little bit here, because it's going very fast and not getting a whole lot of attacks off before it's going back into mist.
Yep. We'll have to see.
Yep, they're slow.
We're gonna slow. Maybe try and time our quakes. Because we've been bluffing with Howlin too. Which is a great thing to do during this form.
Yep, he's going to cast off the faster virus spell, which has less of a delay than Quake does. And it will get off.
2,000 ain't bad in this spot. And we turn back into mist.
Yep, so Kane is unfortunately going to just dive into a cloud, and it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, that jump is real slow. Wind up with 4 ticks, and then we're in the air for 4 ticks. So, a little bit hard to time, but we'll have to see.
You also want to time it so that you're actually jumping before the Demus says, get ready to fight. And then if you time it well, you can be up in the air.
Yeah.
Another slow to hopefully get some more turns in.
Got a spear off. Looks like we'll get a virus off.
Yep, we will. Forearm is going to just do more blinks. All the holy swords today apparently are in the chest, nothing else.
We're just being teased at this point, I believe. Like, I just don't have another explanation for this.
Yeah, and the adamant is so tantalizing with that pink tail, or try and find it in a trap chest, because our evil wall is free of adamant. You can't really be punched to death. You can't be crushed. And
the hook holds a lot of value here too, because it's another key item check that maybe you don't have to go do the evil wall. But as our restreamer Xenocat pointing out in the chat, it could be that, I mean, Demus could be a zonk here.
It could be, and this could be a waste of time. We don't know.
It's
and if it does turn out to not pay off, it's gonna feel real bad.
Yeah.
But that'd be like from the high to the low of Free Enterprise. Like, yes, I found a cheeky check, and that's like, oh, what didn't pay out?
I mean, it could be. One of the interesting things would be if it were like package, and then package led to like Golbez. It would be kind of an interesting sort of chain of events here that we wouldn't hate, but we also wouldn't love.
If this was packaged into Golbez, to be like, okay, that's nice, and you still feel that evil wall is the only way through.
Right. So you might get a good character out of it, but you're still going to have your wall.
Well,
maybe
if it's
a Cecil to go along with all these holy swords.
Yeah, a Crystal Cecil would be really nice on an evil wall, just to speed it up.
Right. And maybe even push us over the edge to actually have the DPS to make it through. And it looks like John's going to give our evil wall here a try. See how this goes. Eizan seems to be in a stable pattern at this point with the 2 slows. We seem to be getting 3 or 4,000 out every mist, so I think we're probably gonna make it through.
I mean,
kind of close, but
it's not really that threatening. It's just it's long because the Demist has so much HP here, and it is very, very fast.
Well, and you're not gonna, especially in this spot, you just can't use the extra, power that a Berserk's gonna give you either, because you'll just end up.
Well, I mean, you could, but you end up having a lot of wasted frames with the counterattack.
Yep, and we make it through.
Yep. So now we're going to warp out of here, we're going to see if this pays off.
Yep. And on JohnBirckhead's side, we do push the Silk Web out on Evil Wall.
That cane has dropped, unfortunately, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Everybody else has blinks up.
Yep, we are getting our blinks up. Quake Kid here, 3,600 damage. I think we can make that work. I was going to say, we're probably going to have to start using heals if this is going to be our strategy, so that we're not all standing still. Just 8 more quakes. That's right.
I don't think there's enough time for 8 more quakes, given how fast that wall is moving. So,
no, we're gonna have to find. Vitella.
But at least he absorbed a hit for somebody else.
Yep. That is 1 less blink cat, or 1/3 of, or 1/2 of 1 less blink.
And John is gonna reset out of that and
just don't have this right now. Oh.
Yeah, I just got a little lost there in terms of where he was going. It's
probably like tracking something or thinking about our next play. Just kind of
really hoping this pays off. Let's see.
And we have
Twin-Heart. It's objective. And it's possibly progression.
It puts off our question of has it paid off for a little bit here, but
well, it's going to pay off. You're going to get at least an objective out of it.
Oh, sure,
and,
yeah.
And the thing is, if for some reason this Evil Wall does pay out with progression, and John never goes and checks that sealed cave, he won't be able to get the harp.
Yep, and if the harp has anything at all, then that means that the Luca check's going to end up required, which has a pretty strong possibility at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing for John to see here would be the Darkness Crystal if he gets it, because that's going to point him to the moon, and it could be well away from where he needs to be.
Yeah, especially if, like, let's say Golbez is the harp today.
It could be Golbez, it could be the Gauntlet.
Yep. It could be the hook. Would be Earth.
Meanwhile, as Eizan goes down here, one of the things about Free Enterprise is that Xenocat, our lovely restreamer, has actually put together a whole bunch of harp songs that we randomly shuffled, and DJ Spoony B is going to pick one of those, more than 500 tunes to regale us with this afternoon.
Yep, I don't remember exactly what the number is. I know there's at least enough for one every day for a year.
The number is a well-guarded secret, unfortunately.
Right, but sometimes they'll let us in on close numbers so that we can regale the audience. But you also get a break from Garen and I chatting here as we will let DJ Spoony B's delicious melody fill the air.
And the crowd rejoices. Alright, so while that's getting started on Eizan's side, John's going to give one more crack at the wall here, and we'll be shutting up for a minute. And Eizan is through the Twin Heart Bear and gets the Darkness Crystal out of it. That is progression.
That is definitely progression, and it's looking likely.
And it is also the 10th key item for Eizan as well.
Yeah. Great find there. Looking like more and more likely that this is going to end up being required. Also puts Eizan in the lead in our scoreboard here, 2 objectives to the 1. We will see what Evil Wall does hold for us if we can make it through here.
I think John is going to get through this at this point. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of damage out. We are pretty close to the crush phase.
Yep, pouring as much damage as we possibly can into that wall.
Yeah, I think Sid just did it through a punch, so I mean...
I mean, if that 100 damage may make the difference for us here at this point. I mean, we are getting dangerously... Yeah, there we go.
Well, we are at crush phase now, so okay.
That was not the target we wanted, Evil Wall.
No, that's the best damage we had.
Yeah.
So we could start playing Life Roulette here. Ella's almost out of MP.
Tell him. But if Porum stays awake, Porum will have significantly more hit points to play with here. But let's see if we get out of the crush phase. 75. What are we doing?
Sid, that's no loss.
No, we are quite happy with Sid. Use our elixir, get us more experience. Pretty much hoping on this Quake. Oof.
Ooh, no.
Maybe one more Quake. Hopefully.
At least Evil seems to be slow enough for the Life Roulette is going to keep us going.
Yeah, I think that Silk Web strats is really kind of paying off here. While Eizan has jumped to the moon, and we are checking the moon shop to see what we have, possibly for Sirens.
Sirens would be awesome to see here at this point. So would Bacchus finds. And we see neither.
Life potions, which are nice and good to have.
They were a little bit nicer about 15 minutes ago.
Right. Oh, and the second Quake doesn't do it either.
Oh no. This is a lot of HP.
Yeah, we're looking pretty rough here, but we do have a stable pattern. We are able to toggle between 5 and 4 characters right now. We'll see how long we can keep this up. You know, we're just trying to figure out
Life 1 isn't that much. I think John's got this in the bag. It's just gonna take a minute.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably a series of events.
I feel like this Evil
is Rosa
and drinking
That's
potions.
Exactly what we wanted to see. Right? I mean, Rosa's... Oh, and bad crush target again.
Well, it's all up to you, Kane. Now we'll get Alan back up here.
Eizan thinking real hard about what we're going to do about this.
I think swaps Rosa for Porum.
Yep. And immediately Rosa's going to take over the job of Whitecaster. We will need to pour a few levels into Rosa, but we've got them. And Sid, I believe, punched the wall down.
Oh, so that's amazing.
It is kind of an amazing... Or Dwarfax swing, sorry.
Oh, no!
No! Oh, no. No.
I don't even want to know what John is saying right now into the his headset. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Because now he knows there's got to be a cheeky Demus somewhere.
Yeah, well, I think John's done most of the checks, and yep, we know.
This is the last check that's possible. Other than, well, there is not one. That could be it. But I think you're right down here in the
I
underground.
mean, you do this first. You've got the item, right?
You've got it. It's one of two checks. If he does this and it's not here, it's like, really?
Yeah. Well, Eizan, pouring down the LST, gonna do some of our checks down here. Really kind of need to find some progression in some of our bosses. Hoping for like a tail or an earth, I think, at this point. But
You'd want Hook here more than anything else because that would give you the pink tail and your adamant.
Yeah.
And it would give you...
When I said tail, I meant I meant the hook. But yeah, makes sense. You get your adamant and a key item check there.
Yeah.
Earth is a couple characters, which is I think why I keep coming back to it. High chance of finding somebody real powerful to help you through.
Yeah, although without access to sirens, it does bring up the question of how you're going to grind them at that point if you've already done with the LSD.
We do have D Machine on the table.
You're not going to do D Machine this late into the seed.
Probably not. I mean, you don't want to. You might do it if you have to, though.
I think they would rather face that evil wall 10 times as opposed to a D Machine.
I mean, I know that was my choice, but maybe our runners have a different opinion. And I think John is a little bit higher level, a little bit more equipped here, or at least a little bit higher level to get through the demist. So hopefully we'll make a little bit faster work. And there's a plague. Oddly enough, with that Rosa ends up freer because Rosa doesn't have any hit points.
Yeah, this is still going,
It's still a thing that we're going to have to get through. But
yeah, I mean, what you'd like to see here is, I think, cast a Star Veil on somebody, then have the count reflect off onto the plague, and then kill the person with that Star Veil up, and then just give them back to life. That would get out of this pretty quick.
Yep. Though, I always find the life loop fairly sustainable. We're not so fast here that...
Oh, it's definitely sustainable. It's just that this is getting a lot of HP here.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do a cheat here and have Plague up to 0 and kill himself.
Yeah, it's always nice when that happens because you have no real indication and it's extremely hard to time, and so eventually it's just like, Plague dies.
Well, you kind of get an idea because, I mean, you know when the last one off on your own team.
Yep. The counter's a little bit different. It's always just fun because like you're sitting there, you're trying to pour damage into Plague, and then suddenly like nothing happens and he dies, and Plague is slow.
Well, a little bit unfortunate there. We lost everybody but Kane and Teller there, but this is all right. I mean,
yeah, luckily Eizan found those life pots up on the moon, and so it's not going to run out of lives to pour into this Plague. And Plague's taking, almost 4k a hit from, or more than 4k sometimes, from Kane, so...
Yep, just needs a moment to get this Palom back up so he gets the experience in this spot.
Yep. Though the wipe is sort of interestingly nice because it does kind of give us 3 different resets that we can perform again, and Plague goes down.
Yep, and that Rosa is going to be...
gains 31 level.
Not quite to cure for it, pretty close.
Yeah. Gets all the utility spells we want out of our white mages, though. We're going to get a Blink and a Berserk and some Cure 3 and all that stuff, so...
Yeah, Palom gets a bunch of levels here, too.
Yeah, I didn't quite see how many levels that we were getting. Baron Key and Legend Sword.
Okay,
that was a good fight.
That's half a flourish. That's nice.
It's 3 boss checks too. So.
Well, 2 because we kind of know what the first one Baron is if we remember.
Oh sure, okay, yes, 2 more boss checks.
I know it wasn't the Gauntlet or Golba, so.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was either, but definitely.
Someone in chat remembers, I'm sure.
Yep. And JohnBirckhead still working our way through the probably required demist. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
You know, it's definitely required demist. It's
right. Because it's the only progression. I forgot.
And gets through it.
Technically found enough, but yeah, we
yeah, I mean, it's evil wall or it's bust. I have dealer here at the White Spear altar.
Yeah.
And we are going YOLO.
Yeah, I don't hate this. I mean, we're getting up to where we have some pretty solid levels on everybody. We have a
well, I mean, Kane does have that White Spear, so
yeah, just not. We got Quake. We can't be too far from Nuke, actually, not for this fight, but. And yes, D-Lunars, you can wall yourselves all you want, but I don't think it's going to help enough. Some pretty solid damage on him.
No. Okay, he's gonna bounce a tier 4 off into his party. That's not helpful.
A little helpful. 65 hit points. I've actually never... I didn't know it was that low when you bounced it off like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and now unfortunately these viruses are going to start hitting the party as well, so we'd be a little bit faster with these quakes out here to get these down.
Yep. But we have a Zerky Kane. We got some quakes. Hopefully we'll get through it here. John makes their way through the demist, gets the Twin Harp. We'll go check the Twin Harp. We'll get the darkness. We'll keep going.
Yep. We lose Tella. That's not a big loss at this point in time.
No.
Rose will get the cure off, so still stable here.
Pretty sure Tella's just there to absorb the hit here. Mostly. I mean,
or absorb a virus, because these viruses are getting a little bit annoying.
Yeah, they're not killing most of our party, so we are doing pretty well as far as that goes, keeping our hit points up.
Yeah, Palom might drop if he gets cast on him. Most of the rest are gonna... Oh, and we're through.
And we're through.
Not as much HP here.
Good raft of experience. Didn't quite make it to Nuke, but we did make it to Life 2. And there's our hook.
There's the hook. Okay, so now we know that the Pinktail is online. We're just really looking for a couple of those bosses. Where are those Gauntlet and Goldos hiding?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see Eizan stay down here. At very least, face check the rest of the locations.
I really want the Gauntlet here at the Masamune altar, because that would be just kind of hilarious, the way the seed has been.
Yeah, the seed's been telling us some jokes today. So, for those of you who have joined us fairly recently, it's an hour 20 into our seed. Seed kind of opened up a little bit at the beginning. Our runners took a similar path and then kind of diverged, but we came back together on a choice between doing a demist hunt that ended up being at Lukaki and getting through a particularly nasty evil wall at the King of Monsters spot, with the demist hunt being the correct answer. So, which Eizan, our runner, managed to do first. JohnBirckhead was routed into after getting through Evil Wall and getting a Dragoon armor, I believe.
Meanwhile, we have a reprise of music, so we'll be quiet and let you hear that again.
Yep.
And JohnBirckhead is through that harp, giving us a nice replay of some music from Final Fantasy VIII. And Eizan has found a Pale Dim sitting at the Crystal Sword altar.
And JohnBirckhead now finding out that the darkness was trapped behind this chain here, and probably, unfortunately, not feeling great. As a runner, it never feels great to know that you made the wrong choice.
Well, I mean, it's a last location, but I mean, he has to figure that Eizan probably went through almost the same chain.
Yeah.
Doesn't know Eizan was able to fade that not required evil wall.
Yeah. I feel like, as most runners, like, you always think of the worst case, right? Of like, oh, they must have done it the right way, and I'm super behind, right? So, going immediately to raise the big whale.
Yeah, because there's no other checks left. I mean, you have to go to the moon. There's no other place to go.
Yep.
Now, the only question is, does he start with the top-down play at cave value, or does he start at the place with the most dense checks, which is towards the bottom? And we might see a top-down play here, just because if he's feeling behind, maybe you're hoping your opponent does the opposite direction to get the things first. Oh, 40 items on the moon. So the moon is loaded today.
Yep. Given the objectives that we started the feed with 80 minutes ago, I don't think that we would have guessed that we would be in this position, but here we are.
Now, Eizan is in face check mode because he has the things he needs for the forge and the pigtail, and if he finds the 2 boss locations, then he's done. So I think we're going to see just a peek of what the bosses are here at the Bahamut and the Murasame altar, just to see if they're here.
Yep, we'll definitely kind of finish off this chain.
As our researchers point out, we could have the bosses locked behind a key item that we don't have yet. That Ogopogo at the vanilla spot at Masamune altar could be a bit cheeky if that's holding the answer.
Yeah, I think that in this position, you're probably making your decision on whether to fight, depending on what you find.
Yeah, I mean, Eizan's already faded the one at the Masamune altar. He's going to Murasame.
We have Mylon and
Mylon Friends, and is going to skip this too.
But we know it's there, and that's probably, I mean, it's not great, but probably not the worst thing to try and get through either.
Yeah, might be trying to think to himself that maybe if the moon have already dropped 4 items, how could it possibly have a 5th or a 6th? But it could. It would be usual for it to happen that way, but
well, with these checks, you get back, and once you get back to the blue planet, you know, you'll at least have your route. You'll know kind of, oh, I'm gonna go Murra next, right?
Yeah, it does have a Baron Key and a Rat Tail check down there, so I mean, it could open up that way. Could check the giant.
Yep. And
finds an Ashura here, and nope.
Oh, not even taking that.
All right, so
yeah.
So JohnBirckhead has to hope that one of those 3 bosses that Eizan's fade up here pays off, and that in combination that they hold at least 2 of those objectives. and that he doesn't fade them himself on the way down.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we get out of this.
I imagine both runners are in a panic just because of the way this Moon Axis actually went down.
Right, and I mean, just sort of without context, right? You look at your timer, you see an hour 30 and 2 objectives, right?
A change out. He's going to take Forum back with Frutella.
I mean, two white casters are great. Tella's usefulness has probably expired at this point, and we already have some levels on that Porum, so you know, it's a good play.
That's more useful than Tella.
Oh, certainly.
Now John is going to take this Mylan and Friends here, so we're going to see if this is going to pay off.
We're going to go check the Adamant Grotto here, and we'll see what the Rat Tail turns into, and we'll cash in our Adamant armor.
Yes, the runners are waiting to do this for literally an hour and 15 minutes, since they had the pink tail so early.
We've had the pink tail burning a hole in our pocket.
Rat tail gives us a ribbon. Well, really, I mean, the package and the Earth Crystal are the last things left here, so I mean...
Yeah, but we're definitely hoping for one of them. And we get our Adamant armor.
So the Evil Wall item was behind something that was blocked behind Evil Wall. That's a really helpful seed.
Thanks. Yeah, that's thanks for that, seed. All
right. Eizan's going to do the Forge next, just to get a 4th objective done. And then it's going to have to decide, do I do the Baron Key? Do I do the Giant? Or those are the only choices I think left.
And sort of just randomly decides to crush Dwarf Castle. I understand. And there's your Adamant, Mr. Kokol. And you may also have the sword. So what are we hoping for here? Able Lance.
Able Lance would be nice for this this game.
There's a Zeus Gauntlet. The best thing in the shop.
Oh, Gigant. Well, that would make Sid useful if we wanted to do that.
I mean, this is not terrible.
And Sid is still here.
Yeah. Sid wielding that is fun. And we're gonna Adamant armor our Sid.
The Adamant Sid play. You love to see it.
Yep.
Alright, so now Eizan has to decide where to go. I imagine we're going to do Baron next, because there are 2 key item checks there. There are 2 boss checks we don't know.
Yep. I think that from a density standpoint, it makes the most sense if you were trying to make a... I think if you were trying to... Yeah, I do that a lot too. Where I'm like, I want to go to Baron Castle, so I go to Baron Castle.
Yeah, unfortunately, the guards are like, nope, you must go through the sewers.
It's like, I have to do the sewer level? Are you kidding me?
And I think Eizan's getting a little bit nerves there, just going back and forth a bit here, but I would be too. It's an hour and a half in.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't seen it not done. This has been a very rude set of stuff.
As I have sometimes explained it in the past, I swear my D-pad knows when I'm behind because it just gets super inaccurate when I feel behind, right?
Yeah, and
it's not my nerves, it's the D-pad.
I mean, at this rate, we've done every check except for Tower Azat, Baron, Throne and Basement, and we're hoping the Giant is not required, but it still could be if both Legal and Golbez are up there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The Giant is the interesting low percentage play here, I think. We could go up there. If it's both of them, great. Not.
I didn't see what John pulled out of the that Mylan and Friends fight. Okay. Okay, so that feels bad for John because that's a check that he did that Eizan didn't. It didn't pay off.
Yep. So, I do want to shout out our streamers, Xenocat and our trackers, all today, doing a heck of a job making us look good, correcting our mistakes.
And boy, there've been a lot of those.
Yeah, well, it's the time of day, right? We're all waking up, coffee's working, sort of. But...
you drink coffee?
Oh, I drink coffee all the time. Are you a tea person, or do you just avoid the caffeine altogether?
I will have tea every now and then, but I'm actually mostly avoiding caffeine these days.
Yeah.
Which is why I sound so chipper this morning.
my cardiologist would wish I would accept that, but that's not what happens. So we have a Mylon here.
And Mylon
easy boss for our party, but not really what we were looking for. But we'll see what Mylon gives us.
Well, either Earth or Package would at least give us more boss checks.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been up since about 8:30 myself anyways, but you know.
It's an edge.
It is an edge. And Edge is going to get left by the side. He's not leveled. There's not
we don't have equipment
left
for him, really.
We have a bunch of holy swords from the dart.
Right. Well,
and we have a spoon.
We have a lightsaber and an Excal. If we still are holding on to those, I don't know if I run it.
Yeah, and there's a spoon, but you know,
there's a spoon. It's fair.
The slate and the seed,
no, might take Cecil, but not an edge. Probably take a fruit.
I think you might take Cecil here if you find him. Oh, but this trash can has trash. Well,
have to see who's in the basement.
You gotta do the base at this point. You've already invested the time to do the first 2 Baron checks. You gotta do the third. Although I think
you're locked into basement or giant almost, unless you're gonna go up Zot.
Well, in order to go up Zot, you need the Earth Crystal. If it's not here, you can't.
Right. You could find the first. I mean, you could check off one objective by finding Golbez there or whatever, but it's not a great play.
Well, we find. I think this is our.
Could be
the pause.
Yep.
This is the gauntlet.
So we had required demist at Luca into required
Quinn Harp
to required. Was it Plague that was in the ribbon room? I don't remember who was in the ribbon room.
Yes, Plague was ribbon room.
So then required Plague to the Baron Key to required basement, which isn't going to give us that much trouble here with the levels that our party has, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
It's just annoying because of the time investment here. Although it is going to give some levels to that Porum, because she missed out on all the moon stuff.
Yep. And the huge Naga goes down. Fight the Conjure.
I guess another Naga.
Rosa decides to silver staff the.
Come on, Eizan! Don't play with your gauntlet here.
I mean, we're just getting more experience for Porum. And JohnBirckhead now on the.
John is going to do the reflect strat on the Plague.
Yeah.
This would be a great time to kill Porum off.
Yep, otherwise we're going to keep getting the count reset both on ourselves and Plague. You could also leave Porum up and just DPS your way through Plague, but this is probably a faster play.
That's an interesting play. Palin is going to kamikaze his sister down. That is...
Sibling rivalries, you love them.
The good news for John is this means that now Plague is going to just kill himself once this timer rolls down. Hopefully he's going to get the Porum back up to get the experience here. Eizan finds the Earth Crystal at the Baron basement.
And that is go mode for Eizan?
So this is an interesting question, because now do you do the giant or the Tower of Zot? You know you need one more boss. Where is it?
I mean, I think you definitely do Zot, right?
I would do Zot myself. Some people might try the other cheeky play. I don't know which. Oh yeah, sorry, Zot's an objective. Thank you. I forgot about Zot being an objective here.
Oh, okay. I'm like, but if you finish Zot, surely finishing Zot's faster than even if Golbez is at elements, right? I mean, it's got to be. Maybe I'm wrong, but
You might just think with your luck in the sea, if it wasn't an objective, that maybe it's a Zonk like everything else has been.
oh yeah. If it wasn't an objective, I would be extremely tempted to go up the giant.
Now,
Because Cecil might be there.
You know, at this point, a Golbez Zot one would just be so cheeky.
Yeah, but our boss man can stay up on the giant if he's there at this point. Like, we're gonna go through Zot. We're gonna finish off here. We're in go mode, and we have a pass too. So
Yep.
we don't
So
even have to walk the LST again.
nope. I mean, it's gonna be, you have to fly back from Baron, but other than that, you're almost right here.
Yep. And
Eizan's getting a little bit turned around here. I understand. It's been a heck of a seed.
it's been, you know, we're nearing the 100-minute mark on this seed. It has been stressful on our runners. The low percentage plays have been the correct ones.
Yeah, and
know?
in a bit of the rando gonna rando, it looks like Eizan's faded 4 things in the seed, and all 4 of them look like they're gonna be correct fades. And Don, unfortunately, has already hit 2 of those and not come up with anything.
This is the thing I do all the time, is forget which way a door's gonna put me out, and then I just end up flipping the door back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable at this point in the seed. I mean, it's like you've been through almost everything.
Yep. Ah, it's not Golbez. If it was Golbez here, you wouldn't even have to finish this. You could just exit out and be done.
Well, you can't exit from the tower.
Well, exit, but
you have to warp down.
You'd
But
have to warp back to the front. But yes, you would just be done, and you wouldn't have to go through whoever's on the second half here. But Dark Elf changes. We're gonna cast Berserk. I'm not even sure that's going to one hit, and we are done. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're going to find our Cecil here, probably.
I think by percentages. Well, there's our Eddie.
Yeah, hi,
We have a
Eddie.
spoon. We're not taking Eddie. Like, there's no way. But
No. Eddie wouldn't even survive the most nerfed Big Bang you could hope for here.
No. I think the only thing you'd even think about is Fu, and I'm not even sure. I might take Fu over Porum in this party.
If Fu was here, I would replace the Porum, because Fu will at least be at next level.
Yep.
No, it is our Paladin.
It is a Paladin.
So a little bit interesting. Eddie managed to tie up the Paladin Cecil here. I mean, that's unusual, but you know, I guess Eddie got some muscles today.
Yep. We're not gonna take. I doubt we're taking a Cecil. Eizan thinking about it.
Yeah. This is the right play, probably. I mean, you might swap the Porum out because Porum's not fully leveled, but I get this.
But Cecil's not. I mean, where are you gonna get Cecil's levels?
I think there were 1 or 2 sirens they picked up along the way, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you have a couple moon bosses, but you don't have to go to the moon, so.
No, you're not going to the moon at this point.
Yeah. I think this is the seemingly would be the correct play. And we have an Odin, so that means that, unless I've forgotten about something, that means that Golbez is on the giant.
No, could still be at the package.
Oh, sure, yes. Could be a package.
I think those are the last 3 spots left.
Yep. But package is going to be behind, like, this Ogo or something.
We're not going to find out right now because John is not going to take it.
Nope. And I guess package could be behind here, which would mean we would never get to go to the package and possibly find our comedian.
Yeah, well, even if the package were to show up here, like, there's no way I would check it, even if it's a food.
No. I mean, hey, you've got your endgame party. You can get through Z.
And there is the package, so So it turns out Eizan did fade 3 moon spots that all came up blanks, and he hit all of the 3 spots that did come up with something. That is rando luck in that case.
Yep. And you wouldn't be able to tell it either, since Eizan did manage to 17 out of 17 the seed. But,
17 of 17 with 4 fades is pretty good.
It's pretty good, but that has just been the seed that we have today. It has just been has a lot of jokes for us. Just thinks it's the comedian today.
Let's see if Eizan gives us a look at what Kane's agility is here. We can see where this is going, because the setup is a little bit rough, as the chat is pointing out.
Yeah. We don't quite have Palom Nuke, right? I think that's 48.
Yeah, he needs to be at 52 for Nuke. 52. So
it's not quite.
Yeah, Gritty is the one who gets Nuke at 50.
Oh, okay, yeah. I knew we were close, but not quite there.
Yeah, but it's Arcane's at 35 agility. That's not great. That's like halfway in between the 2 checkpoints of 28 and 42. We'll use
Dwarfax, and we're at 30, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not great, but 2 over 28 is better than 2 under 28. And as we like to point out here, we can't move Zeromus. You'll notice that we've never been talking about finding Zeromus anywhere. Zeromus is extremely hard. Zeromus is never free, as we like to say in the community. Can wipe even the most prepared parties. I've had 55 parties wiped by some bad luck and bad execution on my part. But what we do like to do is dress Z up. Z is a cosplayer and likes to change who they are going to be tonight. And so if my friend here, Giran, would like to ask the question that we like to ask every day when we see this.
Whose butt are we going to kick this afternoon?
Indeed. And is it going to help us with our taxes or the other questions that are in the meta today? I don't really track the meta.
Well, we usually ask if it has a hat, if it has a butt. If the butt has a hat, apparently it was the thing that came up last night.
Yep. If the hat is cute. Lots of different questions that we like to ask about it.
Yeah, so Eizan's getting into this fight just around 144.
Yep.
And it looks like that Z is not...
I didn't see how many. Did we get 2 shakes before it was...
We got 1 shake before it was toggled, and then 1 shake after it was selected, I think.
Oof. All right.
We'll see how this goes.
Yep. And JohnBirckhead getting their adamant armor off of the crystal armor, crystal gauntlet. And we have Zeekmus. I actually don't know what this is from. I'm kind of bad at this game anyway. Zeekmus.
Well, it's not in this game, it's a different game, but I don't remember what this one is either.
Right. I don't... I have no idea where our Z is from today. I'm kind of hoping that chat will help me out. And we are going to nerf with slow today instead of a Silk Web, as we didn't pick them up in the CW.
Yeah, and Palom is going to get wiped off the face of the planet, almost.
Oh, no. 82 hit points. That's pretty good.
Yep. So Rosa is going to hopefully take care of that real quick.
Yep. Oh, it's...
No, not in time.
And Alchemy in chat pointing out that it is Siegfried from Wild Arms 1. Which would make sense. I played Wild Arms 1 as a child and don't remember anything about it. So
it was actually a Berserk instead of a Cure 3, it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, in this case, we are Zerking up our Sid and Arcane to do the damage. Yep. And everybody else is just going to sit there and pretty much pray.
And that Gigantax doing some good work here. 5,000 on the first swing. That's 7,000 a round is gonna be pretty good here.
Yeah, it's not often that Sid gets to be the hero of the day on Other 6600, but he has the Adamant, he has that Gigant, and yeah, now we are getting some big bangs out here pretty darn fast, and this is unnerved, I think. So
Yeah, that was 2 rounds of Zerking between, but Rosa stays up, has the cure, kind of.
yeah, I mean she's got enough where she'll survive most of the big bangs. But might want to throw up. Okay, there's a black hole.
Ooh, yeah, Z is very fast here.
Mm-hmm. I said Rosa might want to throw up a Star Veil just to ward off that stray nuke going on here.
Yep. And the black hole will give us a little bit to recover. We do have... Oh, and we're going to life up a Forum, looks like.
Yep, that'll at least give us another chance for a Zerk or a Cure or something.
Yep.
And there's a shake already from the Z again, so this is going fast.
Yep. We do have the damage. If we can just manage to get through, possibly one more Big Bang, yeah.
Yeah, here's a Big Bang coming up, so that form is going to drop.
And again, didn't high roll the Big Bang, which is good for our party here. Hopefully Rosa will be able to get around, get a cure. Oh,
well, there's a black hole again. So yeah, this is part of phase 2 of the not terribly nice for the party.
Not nice, but it is giving us it's not Big Bang after Big Bang, so it's giving us a little bit of time here to get stood back up, keeping that Zerk up on Sid.
Oh, but Sid gets nuked.
Ooh, but with that,
survives
with 35 hit points. Hopefully we can. Yep, there's an elixir.
Yeah, there's an elixir coming.
We should get that off.
Yeah, no choice there. But Rose has got a cure 4 this next time around here.
Yeah. So timely elixir. Great roll on that nuke. And
this is what happens when a Z fight is going a little bit sideways, but Eizan seems to have under control right now, so we'll see if there's another shake. Yep. Lots of big bangs coming up here.
Hopefully it looks like we might be in that range where we're going to end up with a bang and a rocks, I think. Because I think it's already yet.
Yeah, I think what
Rosa survives this.
1950, yeah, it's dicey. Okay, she does. Oh, but Kane drops.
And Sid does, but the Kane drops. So if we do see rocks, we're gonna have to have some dodges. But...
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, but
and we got double dodge, so we got a cure 4 off. So this is looking very positive on Eizan's side, while JohnBirckhead is heading into the Baron Castle to find all the zonks and then go to the basement. Looks like somebody didn't dodge. Probably, yeah, that would be my guess. And
there's the shake.
That is the
GG to Eizan. Oh my.
GG Eizan with a time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG's. GG's baking through this heck of a seed here.
Yeah, that's a very good time considering we did everything except for 4 checks and the giant.
Yeah, 17 out of 17 under 2 hours on this flag set is definitely quite a respectable time to have. While we see if Eizan's going to join us for an interview, we see John heading to the basement, and that sound in my ear tells us that we are joined by your teammate Eizan. GG's.
GG.
So what did you think of this seed?
It was a horrific mess.
That's about what it looked like up here from what we were seeing down there.
Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in here that unsurprisingly, JohnBirckhead has forfeited. Not really blaming them. I would want out of the seed as soon as possible as well. So, very, very tough seed. So, from the commentary booth, the seed kind of opened up, closed, opened, closed. but it did come down to the play of either pushing through that evil wall or going to Luca and fighting the D-Mist. So if you could talk about that decision for us.
Really, it was just I really wanting to do that evil wall with that party. So I was like, well, I'm just going to take a gamble that D-Mist is either there, and if it's not, I was going to try Zot 1, and then I would bash my head through that wall if I had to, but luckily I didn't.
Yeah, that was a very cheeky D-Mist spot, and it wasn't a fast fight either because it's so fast down there. It's like you got 1 or 2 turns off and it's going to mist again.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting in sync for that because it kept turning into mist before I could do anything.
Yeah, he didn't have any silk webs either, which didn't make it any better. When you got up to the moon, we saw you only did 3 of the checks there, and then you failed the other 3 just face checking them. Any reason behind those?
Pretty much, I probably would have done the Massa altar if it wasn't Ogo of anybody. But after I got the adamant, I was like, well, there's 2 other checks. I can face check them real quick. And then I was going to gamble on Baron either having the bosses I needed or the Earth Crystal. So that was just my thought process.
I wasn't sure if you thought to yourself, you already had 4 key items on the moon. It's like, you can't possibly have a 5th or a 6th.
Well, consider my last race had 1, and it was the only check I didn't do, and I lost because of it. So yeah, I was like, 4, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, as it turned out, you went 17-17. You knew there were 3 checks for a zonk by the time you finished. And that G was just hiding out somewhere really sneaky today. We never saw him.
Oh, he's on my screen right now. I know where he's at.
You want to let us know?
He's behind the package.
Oh, he is behind package.
Well, who is the character package?
Foo.
Foo.
Well, you might have taken that Foo if you had the package and decided to go for him.
Well, if it wasn't the last item you get, probably.
Well, yeah, the way the sea played out, it was kind of the last thing, probably.
Yeah, I don't know what order you would do that in where you'd ever end up having to check that package. But so as you were kind of going through the moon, were you always going to at least face check the whole thing when you got up there, or what? How did you feel when you had 2 or 3 key items up there and you were kind of trying to make your way through?
Well, Darkness gave me 10 key items, so I was like, well, let me go to Ribbon Room first because XP, luckily it was Plague, so that was free.
Yep.
And it really helped with Rosa, me taking Rosa. I just started with that, and I just figured and then key items started showing up, and I was like, well, let me see what else is here. And then the adamant, then I was like, all right, well, I got enough. I want face check, and then we'll see what goes from here. It was kind of my whole thought process through this whole seed hasn't been straight.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a seed that really wanted to be the star of the show today, telling some jokes to us, and not making things easy on either of you. With JohnBirckhead, having done the wall play and then had to catch up to you, was that far behind and everything. So definitely GG's on the seed.
Yeah, it was also funny that it gave me that Cecil at the end too.
Yeah, we saw you kind of hovering. It's like, yeah, take him or not, but at that point, you want to spend the siren to do it. I mean, you haven't seen it not done yet, but it's like it's so late in the seed.
Yeah, where are you gonna get the levels?
And anyways, I mean, Adamant Gigant Sid. I mean, that's something to see.
Never seen it do quite so much damage on Z before.
So anyways, this was the last of the regular season races for the Eblan Elixir League. How did you think the tournament went for Eizan?
Went pretty well. I'll take a 500 record. I'll be all right with that.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out I think our team is pretty much all right around there. I mean, I'm 3-3 as well. The races we ran, and 4-3 overall. So I mean, it's about what you expect when you're matching up based on the way we're doing it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good tournament. I've enjoyed it.
Do you prefer the potion party or the Moonveil mixer?
The potion party.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. I prefer the potion party too, as I do with the fact that I won more races there than on the Moonveil mixer.
I was gonna say, really? I am definitely on the other side of that equation. I Hate Trap and I don't get along, I think.
Well,
So-
that can also just be the attorney in your team speaking there too. I don't know.
Could be. I mean, we do definitely like our objectives on the Moonveil mixer slightly better.
Yeah. Also, know this nonsense about the no free bosses aren't on. So
Hey, I got at least one Dark Knight Cecil and the Leviathan during the potion party, so I was okay with that.
It's always a fun time here. So, any other thoughts about the seed, Eizan? Any other thoughts about how the tournament went? Any plans for title phase?
I don't know. My schedule probably won't allow it, but we'll see. But no, just I don't want ever another D-miss like that again.
Yeah, that's a pretty rude spot for it to be in with the party you had.
All right, well, I got to get going. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yep, GG.
I have it going, Eizan.
Thank you for running for us
Again.
We'll see here if John is going to join us. I would not blame him either way. And while we wait for that,
Well, there
Please
is
do-
actually a noise in the ear here. We are joined by JohnBirckhead. GG.
GG's, John.
GG's.
So, tell us about the seed that wanted to tell all the jokes.
Yeah, that was rude. that was a seed that existed, I've been playing for so long though, it's like when you have seeds like this, I kind of expect myself to handle it better, and I just didn't. It wasn't a rude seed, of course it was, but yeah, no, that was bad. That was really there is no I hold myself to a high standard to begin with, but it was just objectively pretty horrendous gameplay. So this is going to take a little while to shake off. I'm pretty horrified and embarrassed on this one.
I don't know that. Honestly, I think it was just like one sort of coin flip that really separated you. And Eizan, you had the choice to either do Evil Wall or go hunting for a D-Most, and you just came up on the wrong side of the coin flip. I don't know if I'd really say it was execution based.
But you know what though? That's when you're in a boss hunt. You haven't seen D-Mist, which might be your way out. You haven't seen Golbez, and you haven't seen the Gauntlet. You might be going there anyway. It's 1,000,000% the right decision, and I just didn't make it. That's not, oh well, he got lucky to find. No. He looked at the seed, he looked at his objectives, and made an excellent call. It's not luck, it's just smart, and I was not. So, and even that aside, my Magus Sisters fight on ordeals, or just forgetting where the illusions were, forgetting where the Sork Robe was, forgetting I had a Moonveil. I mean, I literally forgot I had a Moonveil. That would have saved me so much time. There's if you want to point to one singular thing, sure, that's it. But there are just so many, maybe subtle things that if you run the game, you realize weren't efficient. to just big routing it was just bad gameplay. And my team deserves better, and theoretically I know I can do better, and it was just I made a lot of mistakes and he didn't, straight up. So GG's. And I haven't had a seed like this in a while. I haven't bombed out like this in a very, very, very long time. So it's a kick in the pants.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely rough, right? I mean, the seed itself was screwed. Definitely filtered all your decisions to a few points. I think that I would say that your handling of the wall fight was very good. I think there's some good things to take away from this, even if, as you say, there's probably some execution things on both sides that could have been different. But tell us about the early game kind of routing. How do you feel that went? What do you think about sort of as the seed sort of progressed into the inflection point?
I mean, you get two solid early game characters in Sid and in Kane, and you start with that Dwarf X. And early on, I found I think a ninja hat somewhere. And, early game, I love trying to be fast if I can. That can be sometimes even better than finding overwhelming power. And with max tier 5, you're not going to find overwhelming power right away. So if you just get turns in, you can win the fights with like a lot of almost like a death of a lot of paper cuts, And Wind Spear's not great, but the speed is good, and then the Dwarf Axe can go on Sid, and you have plenty of power, So we got through Antlion, and we got through we got Telos, we had Exit. Went to, even though we had the pan, went to Fabul, just wanted to do some shopping, and mistimed the Blizzard, which felt bad. I don't know if I just spaced out or what. It's what I'm saying. Just these things that just add up. And then I got to Ordeals, and you have the lowest attack power of the game. You have DKC with free bosses. Like, all right, I don't need to save. And then I put up a Star Veil for some godly reason, getting Magus Scissors confused with Leviathan. And I was like, let me just get out of here. I'll come back. And we had underground access, we had pans, let's do some checks. And then we ended up getting, even just having more characters would have helped me get through that Magus Sisters fight. More targets, because they're gonna, with the back attack, they're gonna get a attack off, and for the early game that magic power is extremely high. So even just getting another character, so let me just get Porum just to have her in the party. We got her in the party. And then we have Sandru, we want to go see who it is. Well, it's Palm. Okay, well then now we're in a position, plus the hourglass that we found, we can go ahead and we can get to Quake, and then we can go back and just one Quake and we're done. So it wasn't smooth because of the wipe up at Ordeals, but with the saves coming, I was able to go ahead and kind of recover. It's like, all right, maybe we still have a chance here. Did everything but Evil Wall, obviously, and then top of tower, let a tower key. That's cute, and then nothing. It's like, oh, all right, well, here we go. So I wanted to be anchored, if nothing else, and I couldn't remember where the illusions were. Found the curse string, had the drain spear. All right, at least we're RA1. We got some blink casters, and we can go ahead and fight through. And then I just my heart just sank through my chest. Like, oh my God, what did you just do? So, even just I had Sid with the Dragoon shield on there in the front row in case a blink wore off, because I wanted him to take damage, be able to take a shot, and be a chemist. But there's no reason I couldn't have the Dwarf X on too. We were already RA1. It was just bad. It was just really, 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 just for my own standards, it was just bad. I expect a lot more from myself, and I know better. And man, did I not execute today? It was rough.
Yeah, I definitely think it was rough. I mean, that's just a good way to describe what happened anyway, right? So just the seed and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, if you watch it back, I mean, you actually were in the lead up until the decision to take the evil wall down in the Feymarch, because Eizan was a little bit slower because of also some execution issues on some of the other fights beforehand.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, unless you're, well, actually, I shouldn't say unless you're running. There's a handful of runners that, like no one's going to have a perfect run, but you look at really any of these other A-tier people, and it's impossible to not feel behind when you have mistakes. So that's just even the fact that if he had a couple trips ups too. I mean, that's the door's wide open, and I shut it. And like who's that Buster, who's the stunt dude from the 20s, like the landmark stunt person, like the first one, Buster Keaton. And they have the famous scene where you slam the door and he's standing at the right spot and the house falls down. That's what I did. He opened that door and I Buster Keaton that baby. I slammed that door shut, and instead of standing where the window was, brother, I got crushed. Oh man, I'm gonna need a brew dude time myself to wipe this one off. This was this was just...
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like you were necessarily sunk after that. I mean, unfortunately, Eizan made all the right checks in the moon and the right fade, so it's like bit of rando there at the end. I mean, there were ways I think you could have come back if those items and the bosses had fallen differently.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Well,
we did find out that the Golbez was never going to be found because it was behind the package, which was from the Tower of Sot. So it's like, oh boy,
adorable.
It was definitely a seed set up to funnel some runners into failure, right? Just rough, had a lot of jokes, even if they weren't that funny.
I hope Chad had a good time. Thank you both so much for doing commentary. When I get the courage to watch this back, after some liquid courage ingested, perhaps, I'm sure I will enjoy getting your feedback. Zol, thank you for the tracking. Do I need to thank Xeno for rolling this? Do I have to? My daughter might be watching this. Thank you for rolling this and restreaming. GG's to Eizan, very well done. And apologies to my team. That's just not good. So hope you all enjoyed the race, and thanks so much for everything that you all do.
Yeah, thank you again, and GG again, and I'm sure we'll see you around in some future races.
All right, you guys take care.
GG's.
GG's.
And that is going to wrap up our broadcast for today. I do want to mention to everybody that this is just the beginning of an exciting day of free enterprise races. At 3 p.m. Eastern, we have CNC versus Zeke on free enterprise. And at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a twin cast of Heroes versus Starman and Professor Render versus Leggy Starscream at 8 p.m. on RPG Limit Break. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have another twin cast of NeuroCAD versus Soapbox Gamer and Flanders versus Elven Sorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern on Free Enterprise. So a great day of some awesome races here. So stay tuned for that. We are going to there's not a good raid target, so we are just going to end the broadcast here, but I want to say thank you to Xenocat for rolling this seed and restreaming for us. Thank you for Zold for keeping us on the straight and narrow, and thank you to my co-commentator Giran for putting up with my BS for a couple hours here.
It was a pleasure, Southman. I'm sure we'll do it again sometime, right?
Absolutely. But from everybody here at Free Enterprise to our wonderful audience, I say GG's and have a great day.